it's Alicia, and welcome back to the Evening Podcast. I'm really happy to be, recording today. Today is a pretty chill day for me, and I'm actually, if you're watching this on YouTube, I changed up the scenery a bit because I'm doing another recording of something different. And I was like, you know what? Why not record the podcast in this way as well? Kind of like spruce it up a bit. So here I am changing the scenery. And yeah, so if you haven't seen or you normally listen to the podcast through like Apple or Spotify, maybe take the chance or the time rather to actually watch it on YouTube. Still the Eat Me podcast. Check it out from there. I hope everyone's doing well and doing the best that they can given the circumstances of not only the United States, but the world as we know it. But I wanted to just, hop on and talk about if one thing in particular that I thought was really troubling to me, and that was the idea that Donald Trump has shared that he would consider being or would like to be the Pope. It's almost comical in a way when you think about it, but at the same time, it's not because this is a person who will say one thing and then make it appear very like, oh, yeah, I just said that, la, 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 no big deal. And then you find yourself dealing with him in a way that you never thought that you would have to because you think this is completely absurd, right? Now, will he ever be the Pope? I would hope not. I seriously doubt it. But listen, stranger things have happened in this life and we have seen them happen. So there you are. But I wanted to just, go over. Variety actually wrote up a quick article about it. And the article, and I'll share the article in the show notes, it's called Trump Posts AI Generated Image of Himself Dressed as the Pope. So he went on, and if you don't know about the platform that he's created, it's called Truth Social. I'm not a part of Truth Social. I think it's similar to something like X or like Threads through Instagram. But if it's not, let me know, guys. But like I said, I do not take the time to even entertain anything like that. But he created his own platform where he claims that the truth is being shared there, and I'm pretty sure he has a great following over there of people that believe in the things that he is doing and what he says. So there's that. But on his Truth Social platform, he posted this image of him dressed as the Pope. And I'm going to try and see if I can share. I don't know if I can share my screen or not. Like I said, if you're on YouTube, you'll be able to see this. But I wanted to see if I could share this with you guys. I'm not sure if I'm able to or not, but if you can see this, this is crazy. This is the picture of Trump, this AI image of him, saying that, hey, I would like to be the Pope. Okay. I'm going to stop sharing because that's enough of that. But anyway, I thought that was really, really concerning, right? Because I'm like, guys, what is happening? We talk about things as it relates to separating church and state. You know what I'm saying? And this would be the complete opposite of that, in my opinion. Like, I feel like this would then bring about more of the ideological mindset that he has right now of, being a dictator and just running everything, right? But at the same time, I'm just wondering what this would even bring about. I mean, who would ever want to think that Trump would be in that type of position? Like, it's crazy to even think about because one, I don't know him to be this truly religious individual. And not even that, to be the Pope, I mean, you would have had, you have to have experience, but I mean, he doesn't have experience as a president either. Well, now he does because he was a president prior, but prior to that, no governmental, like government based background as it relates to a profession, nothing of that of the sort. But yet and still, he's the president of the United States. And, maybe some people are like kind of like throwing this off as like, oh, okay, that's just Trump being Trump again. But it's like we said that in 2016. We said, oh, that's Trump being his crazy self. He's this reality TV show host, performer, whatever, as well as what he, calls himself a businessman. I use that very, in air quotes, very much so, because I'm like, okay, no, not at all. But yeah, I think, and here's another thing too. I want to say, I am not a religious person at all. But I feel like when you are putting yourself in situations similar to what, Trump is doing right now, you are testing something that many people hold sacred. And I grew up very religious. I grew up, in the Seventh-day Adventist church. I mean, and granted, the Seventh-day Adventist church is completely opposite of the Catholic church. Regardless of that, this is still a religious entity that a lot of people follow. A lot of people, believe in the teachings of the Catholic Church. They, revere the Pope, and people that aren't even Catholic also revere the Pope. And so it is just unbelievable to me that he is even thinking that this is, or this should be, his next move. And not even, and beyond him, right? In this actual article, it also mentions Lindsey Graham also made reference to this whole idea on, let me look and see, it's in this actual, yeah, here it is. It says, this is in the article. It says, following Trump's tongue-in-cheek comment about wanting to be Pope, Senator Lindsey Graham, he's the Republican senator in South Carolina, picked up the thread, writing in a post on X. I was excited. This is what he says. I was excited to hear that President Trump is open to the idea of being Pope. This would truly be a dark horse candidate, but I would ask the papal conclave and Catholic faithful to keep an open mind about this possibility. The first Pope US president combination has many upsides. Watching for white smoke. Trump, and then he puts the acronym that goes after. So like each pope has, like, they are pope whatever the number is, right? And so that's behind the name of the next pope. Lindsey Graham had placed that there. This is crazy to me. I mean, first of all, the pope has not been dead that long for this to even be something to talk about. But I mean, I get it. They have to get going with figuring out who will be the next pope. And they have people who are already in place for that they're looking at to be the next pope. And it's wild to me because even in this article, it mentions, Trump being at the funeral of the Pope. And I just want to read this because it's wild. So it says, Trump, along with other world leaders, attended Pope Francis's funeral last Saturday, which was April the 20th. So was that last Saturday? Yeah, it was last Saturday in Rome. Viral images on social media, is it purported, okay, I clearly can't read, purported to show that Trump had fallen asleep. Fallen asleep. I needed to say that again. During the funeral service. However, according to Snopes, this is false, with the fact-checking site saying the video coverage indicates otherwise. So that's good that was cleared up, because honestly, I thought he had fallen asleep, but according to Snopes, this is not true. And apparently, if you know anything about Snopes, they debunk a lot of things that you see like on social media and what you hear in the media. I mean, if you want to take Snopes' word, there's that. Normally, they do provide accurate information. The Vatican conclave, set to begin on May 7th, will include 133 cardinal electors, the first with more than 120, according to the Vatican News. Trump has said that although he was confirmed at the Presbyterian Church as a child, I now consider myself to be a non-denominational Christian. It is not the first time Trump has shared fake images on Truth Social account. Last August, Trump posted a series of AI-generated images falsely claiming that Taylor Swift endorsed him for president. And later that month, Trump shared a photoshopped picture depicting himself and several associates as DC superhero comic characters, with Trump as Superman, JD Vance as Batman, Elon Musk as part human, part robot cyborg, Vivek Ramaswamy as the Flash, Tulsi Gabbard as Wonder Woman, and Robert F. Kennedy Jr. as Aquaman. I mean, here's the thing. And that kind of like ends the article from what that's the end of the article. But here's my thing, guys. What I'm not understanding about this whole thing is, and even down to the presidency, how serious these positions are, and if Trump understands that, or if he even cares. And I think it's more of the latter. I don't think he cares. I think it's both. I think he cares, and then I also think he doesn't care about the people that are involved in the decisions that are made by these people who are in those positions. You know what I'm saying? I think it's obviously about the power. It's about the idea of saying that I was the most powerful person in, the United States, being the president of the United States. I was the most powerful person, within the Catholic Church. Um, it's really bizarre how power hungry this individual is. And then on top of that, it's sad and scary at the same time that he has all of these yes people around him, just allowing this to be a thing. And I mean, I get that, he's an adult, he can say and do whatever he wants, but the idea that you have all these people around you that are just allowing you to just do and say whatever, and there's no pushback, there's nothing like, okay, maybe you should reconsider, maybe you need to think about what you're saying or doing. None of that is really happening, and so that's a dangerous place to be, because in my opinion, even though you have all these yes people around you, eventually that can, be to your demise, because they're not looking out for the greater good. And you are a part of the greater good eventually. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not like a thing of like, it's all going to be, for the betterment of not only Trump, but for the people as well. There are more people than there are Trump, than there are representatives in our government, than the Pope. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think, and this goes down to what I've been saying for a long time. There is power within the people. We have the power. And I think a lot of us are coming to that realization slowly but surely. And it's wonderful that people are, getting to that point where they're like, wait a minute, like I don't have to deal with this. I can fight against this. And I have more people, there are people that also feel this way, and we can protest. We can get out here and boycott. There's so many things that we can do because Trump and, government officials and even down to the Pope, these people are in leadership. But in order for you to be a leader, you have to have people under you, or people behind you, or people next to you that are willing to follow you. You know what I'm saying? Like, there has to be a point where we as people, not just Americans, but on a global scale, because when you're thinking about the Pope, this is something that goes beyond the United States. This is on a global scale. Catholicism is a global religion, right? So this is not just something that's isolated to the American people. And I encourage, people that are questioning, anything like this. I mean, will this go far? Who knows? Who knows? I seriously doubt it. But once again, like I said at the beginning of this, you never, ever know in this world. You think things are rational and people are rational, and the way due process works, it will fall through, and then you find out, yeah, no, that's not how it is. And then people are just going to do what they want to do, that are in power. And not all people in power, but the ones that are just doing all this crazy stuff. It's shocking to see that this is how things are going down. So I think it's really important for people to stand up against stuff like this because the presidency situation began like this, where he was just kind of like throwing out little things like, oh, I could be president, blah, blah, blah. And people were laughing. They're like, he is an idiot. Like, how is that even possible? And his second term beyond validated that. And so I think it's so important that we keep raising awareness and we keep calling out this ridiculousness and not fall asleep on the fact that these people are doing things that are not beneficial for us. It's beneficial for them, but it's not beneficial for us. Right. And like I said, I am not religious. My father was Catholic. I mean, I have ties by way of my paternal side of my family with Catholicism, but I mean, and it wasn't anything where I attended the Catholic Church. But I have family that are Catholic, and I know I haven't talked to them about this kind of stuff, but I know this could be pretty concerning, that someone would think that they had the ability to just jump in and be a pope without any type of background in the Catholic Church. You have not been you've not attended a Catholic church. I mean, you claim that you were Presbyterian. That's two totally different religions. You know what I'm saying? So it's like if I were Catholic, I would be pretty offended by this. I would think, like, how dare you even think that this is even a possibility for you? But time will tell how things unfold with this. And I'm pretty sure, like I said, I'm pretty sure that this is not going to go far. But I definitely just wanted to talk about this because I feel like that is kind of where we were in that 2015, 2016, maybe even 2014, because he was kind of like revving up and talking and, talking things, saying things about Obama and all these crazy things. And I mean, it was kind of actually before all that. I can't remember the actual timeline, but he was slowly edging his way in. You know what I'm saying? Slowly making himself known, his face out there, and boom, he's the president of the United States. I don't even know if he has time on his side. And that's not even being shady. I don't know that he's even in a place to be a pope because of his age, but I mean, we do have popes that are older, but I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. But what I do know is this is crazy. And we have to, like I said, we have to keep our eyes open and realize that these people are just doing whatever the heck they want to, and we have to fight back, whatever that looks like on our end. Yeah. I was blown away when I heard this, and I was like, I have to talk about this. And then whoever this resonates with, I hope that that you share this with other people because it's like, what is going on? What is going on in this world? Everything that we thought was right seems wrong, and what we thought was sane isn't sane. Like, it's just everything's flipped upside down. But as I always say, I feel like things will eventually get to a point where we are in a better place. We're just in a really rocky time, very, very rocky time, and it just seems so. It's almost unbelievable, but at the same time, it's not because it's been a long time coming with all this craziness. But yeah, here we are. Trump wants to be the Pope. Wild. I will share this article with you guys in the show notes. If you guys would love to chat more about different things that are happening in our world, I would love to do that with you. If you want to be a guest on the podcast, definitely hit me up on social media. I am easily accessible. Alicia Christian on Instagram, Alicia Christian on Facebook. I'm Leash on TikTok. You can email me at, I'm blanking on the words. Alicia R. Christian at gmail.com. Alicia at the Eat Me podcast, hello, at gmail.com. I'm all over the place. So yeah, I'm easily accessible. I would love to have a conversation with some people about this stuff because I feel like many of us want to say things, but we don't have the platform to. So this would be a great place to have these conversations. So definitely hit me up. I would love to chat with y'all. Like I said, I'll share the information about that article in the show notes. Y'all, let's just keep on keeping on. We have to just lean on one another at this time because what we thought would be a support, like our government, things of that nature, we're realizing we are all we have. I love y'all. And listen, thank you for listening to this week's episode of the Eat Me podcast. I'll see y'all next week. All right.